So right now, I'd like to just talk about the good things that you see. What's good about the script right now? I like how the characters have been developed. I like the loving relationship between the husband and the wife. A lot of times we don't have a foul relationship that is shown in some scripts. And so I like that. I like the whole family unit. They seem very positive with their son, the relationship between the niece and her and Faith's sister. So I like the way it's being told and just the family unit.
I like that it's multi-dimensional, that there's more than one storyline going on. We do have the story of Faith and her illness and her religion, but there's also Michael dealing with Christina's death. There's also Dominique dealing with her mother, Diana. There's also Diana and Dawn. There's also Dawn and Sam. And there's also Diana and Sam because of Nathan. So even though there's the main storyline, there's also all of these multi-dimensional other storylines that flow really well within the story, and I think it makes it interesting.
I especially like that for Diana and Dawn as the representatives of the looming presence of the Kingdom Hall, that they are not just that.
Right.
You know, even though they have their moments.
Right.
Just like the hall is executing its will through them, but they also have their own, not just with one another, but with everyone else. They have a more complex life that you get to see.
Yeah, I have a question. So, in terms of disfellowship, is my understanding that if you have been disfellowship, that cuts you off from the community. So, the fact that Sam has been disfellowship and is still married to Faith, I know they had to move, but how do things like that work? Since she is still married to him, but he's disfellowship, she technically shouldn't be associating with him, but he's her husband, and it's just all that stuff. So
I like the different approaches that each character kind of has to their own grief, because they're all dealing with their own grief. The family's each individually dealing with their grief of Matthew, and then Mr. Emmanuel's kind of dealing with the grief of his mother and father.
I think similarly, it's just very human to not deal with grief openly, and everybody sort of pushed it underneath, and it sort of manifested itself in these other behaviors, so not all that different from what Mary observed, but they seem to come to acceptance at the end, which I think is sort of the key thing. They sort of seem to accept themselves as they are. They sort of know they're wacky, but with this, sort of willingness to talk about Matthew's death, seem to have come to a place where they can interact in a way that's more healthy, and I like that. Well, I think it's a good message. I liked it.
Is there anything else about structure that you identify, or character? I mean, it's not a test question.
Right. No, it's...
they dropped the SET as an entrance exam.
Right. It's a little late for me to fail and get kicked out. But no, it's a good question, and I want to answer it thoughtfully. The arc of the interactions, and there is an arc of interactions, and they're coming to some kind of also acceptance of Mr. Emmanuel. I don't know if they ever really resolve that he's Christ, but they sort of seem to come to accept that he did something for them.
I like the way that John has tried to modernize some of the traditional biblical passages and stories and things along that line. So, that's interesting. I also like the fact that there's, although we may not have found it so much in here without an audience, but there's a lot of humor in this. So, the way that he uses humor to kind of break up really heavy things, I like that device very much.